The anniversary event's done. I've said it multiple times, and now we're in that in-between period. Because really 11.1's most likely not hitting until February 25th. So now you got some time. What are you going to do with that time? Maybe you're going to gear out some alts. Maybe you just came to the War Within and you got to gear out your main still. Well, don't miss out this chance. 619 plus gear, your last chance for easy gear before patch 11.1 hits, new mounts and rewards to collect. Let's see what we can do before 11.1 hits.
Hey folks, this is Kalani. We have a new event starting
From
up this
Kalani.
week to help bridge the gap between now and the next big content patch and Season 2 of The War Within. The Turbulent Timeways event lets you get some high item level gear for very little effort. You can get up to item level 619 raid gear basically for free, which will be the last chance to get some easy gear before Season 2 rolls around. You can also use the event to quickly level up any alts you may have left behind. There's a brand new Buzzy B mount to collect, and there are other changes to other time walking rewards as well. Let's go over how you can nab some easy high item level gear and make the most out of this special time walking event. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. Let's kick things off with the good stuff, that free item level 619 heroic raid gear.
It's from the Turbulent Timeways
event will last for 7 weeks, and it's going to bring us back-to-back time walking events. We'll work through each expansion one at a time, starting with Mists of Pandaria.
By the way, fun fact, if you didn't know, and I mentioned it this morning early in the stream, if you have the bronze celebration tokens from the anniversary event, when you log in today post-reset, you will have those converted to Time Warp badges automatically. So if you go check your Time Warp badges today when you're in, you'll notice you probably have more than you previously did, and you can use them during this event, right, to buy some Time Warp shit if you want to.
Through the expansions up until Legion, reset down to Classic, and then finish up with Cataclysm, so every time walking event will be available over the next 7 weeks. That also means we're going to have 7 weeks of the Time Walking Weekly Quest, which usually rewards you with a piece of normal raid loot, but that reward has been increased for this event, so it will now reward you with a piece of heroic raid loot.
Nice.
Now the cache will say item level 610, but you can actually get any piece of loot that drops from any boss from the Nerebar Palace raid on heroic mode. Heroic loot starts at item level 610, but the later bosses can drop item level 619 gear. So really, I
didn't know this was actually from the raid. I thought this was just 619 item level gear. So this is actual, you can get some best in slot items here.
Box contains a minimum of item level 610 gear, but it could be quite a bit higher depending on the item you get. If you get really lucky, you can get one of the very rare items that are item level 626 on heroic mode. Raid gear in general can also just be very powerful. You can get tier set gear. Some of those very rare items we just mentioned are also incredibly powerful. Certain trinkets from the raid are heads and tails above the rest, and it's always nice to get one of those high item level weapons from the later bosses.
Yeah, that's what's nice about it. I wish this fucking mount would drop. I'm not gonna lie. If they would drop the mount randomly from the cache, I'd be fucking doing Turbulent Timeways nonstop. Oh man, I wish. But that's not the case. You said you still have your celebration tokens? Really? Okay, hold on. Let me read this blue post again. This is where it says, so you're logged in right now and you still have your tokens. Okay, so it says, now that the 20th anniversary event has concluded, we are converting players' remaining bronze tokens to Time Warp badges in the Undermined update. Okay, so it's not till 11.1 goes live. So you're going to have your bronze celebration tokens until the 11.1 update goes live. So that's okay. So that's how that's going to. So that won't actually happen until after the Turbulent Timeways event's over. That kind of sucks. The exchange will be 20 Time Warp badges for each bronze token, matching the boxes that were on the vendor. It'll exchange will occur upon logging in for the first time when Undermined goes live. So there you go. So my bad, I misspoke there. It's not until 11.1 goes live.
From the later bosses. So you can get some really good gear from these weekly quests. 7 weeks of time walking means 7 heroic raid pieces of gear, which can cover half of your character's items. So this is a huge opportunity to gear up any characters that you have sitting at lower item levels. Getting 5 time walking dungeons done in a week to complete that weekly quest is also super easy and quick these days. Most runs are going to take 5 to 10 minutes, and sometimes they're even faster than that. Now you just have to hope you don't end up with 7 cloaks in a row row from your boxes. Remember that any armor pieces you
I've
get
had
from
that
these
happen.
caches can also be popped into the catalyst, either to turn it into tier set gear if you get a tier slot item, or to change the stats and the transmog of any non-tier set
Yeah,
item.
transmog's why I'm using this. I said this yesterday. If you have a bunch of catalyst charges and you don't have like your full tier set transmogs yet, go take the correct item level for whatever colorway you want for your tier sets and go convert them now, because these things are not going to carry over into next season. So if you have all your tier sets set up and you don't need any more, don't let these just go to waste. Use them for transmog at least.
Item. So you can use this as a chance to get some higher tier set gear, or maybe unlock some extra transmogs for the heroic and mythic versions of your season 1 set. What's really cool is that because this gear is heroic raid level, you can upgrade it and earn the mythic versions of the transmog as well, so you can double up on transmog unlocks that you wouldn't usually be able to get without clearing the raid on those higher difficulties.
There it is.
It's also important to note that certain time-walking events also have raids attached to them, like the Black Temple raid being available during TBC time-walking, or Ulduar being available during Wrath of the Lich King time-walking. These time-walking raids are relatively easy.
Which time walking is available this week? Because the Turbulent Time Waste thing started. What do you guys know which time walking is available this week? Because we'll do the raid if there's a raid. Mop? Is there a raid attached to Mop? I don't think so. Is there? Is there a raid? I don't think there is. No raid? Yeah. No. Damn. Okay, we would have done it. Oh well.
Usually drops item level 597 gear, and there's a special weekly quest for the raid that rewards you with another box of 610 gear as well, so whenever one of these time walking raids is available, you'll have some extra chances to gear up your characters. This will be the last big chance to get some easy gear before the new season starts with patch 11.1. It's not just about free easy gear though. Taking part in the Turbulent Timeways event will earn you the new Timely Buzz Bee mount. Getting your hands on this cute little critter is also super simple and will basically be automatic if you're working towards those special gear boxes already. All you need to do is complete 4 time-walking dungeons in a week to get your character the Mastery of Timeways buff.
You gotta do it 5
times. When you first
times.
complete a time-walking dungeon, you'll get the Knowledge of Timeways buff, which increases your experience gains from quests and monster kills by 5%. For each extra dungeon you run, you'll get an additional stack of the buff, increasing the bonus experience by 5%, and then at 4 stacks it will become the Mastery of Timeways buff, which increases your experience gains by 30%. This is the one that you're going to need for the Timely Buzz Bee mount. You need to get this buff in 5 different weeks of the event, so basically you just need to run 4 time walking dungeons per week for 5
weeks. Yep.
That's it. If you run
I think the entire event's 7 weeks, so you can miss 2 weeks.
Time walking dungeons to get your weekly quests done, you'll already be getting your buff passively, so the only thing you'll need to make sure you do is hit that 5-week requirement, and then you can fly around on a brand new Buzzing Bee mount. Now, because this buff increases your experience gains and you can stack it up to 30%, this event is also a great time to level up any ults that you may have been putting off. Maybe there are a couple of stragglers that you didn't want to level during the anniversary event, or you were maybe just working on other stuff. Whatever the case may be, the Turbulent Timeways event offers you yet another chance to quickly level up your ult army to get them ready for Season 2. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen the Turbulent Timeways event, and they usually have some unique rewards
it started in
like the
Dragonflight.
Buzzing Bee mount, but if you missed the last event, you don't have to miss out on the special mount rewards either. You can buy the Sandy Shale Wing mount from
Is anyone else not a fan of the Shale Wings? I've not liked... There is not a single Shale Wing in the game that I like. Every single time the fucking... And for some reason, Blizzard loves to make it the reward for things. I don't know why. But I don't like any of the Shale Wing mounts. Shut the fuck up, Sam. You love it? I don't know. Maybe you love ugly mounts. I think it's freaking disgusting. Yeah, I don't like any of the Shale Wings. I have no desire ever to chase them. And I feel like they have 10 different versions of them now, and they're always rewards for things. And I'm like, well, I don't want that reward, so I'm just not going to do the thing. Fucking Shale Wings. Give us something cool.
Time walking vendor, so it doesn't matter which
weird-ass amorphous fucking stingray dinosaur thing. Who the hell wants this shit?
Is currently active. The mount will set you back 5,000 timed warped badges, but hopefully you've managed to save up quite a few from the anniversary event. It's also important to remember that most of the Timewalking event vendors have some new rewards to pick up as well, and with every Timewalking event being available over the next 7 weeks, that means every event vendor will be available too. Getting through every Timewalking event usually takes about 6 months, so this event will give you the opportunity to buy all of those shiny new rewards in a significantly
and there's a
shorter
bunch of new ones, guys. So if you want to get in and get there are so many new rewards, and Blizzard added new rewards through the anniversary event for every single Time Walking expansion. So there's a ton of stuff if you guys want to buy things. I'm gonna go check out the Time Walking vendor when I log in today.
Each Time Walking vendor as the weeks roll by and see what rewards you might be interested in, like some new transmog, toys, or pets. We might not see some of these vendors again until halfway through the year, so just keep that in mind. The Turbulent Timeways event is going to last for 7 weeks, so you'll be able to get up to 7 pieces of heroic raid gear from those special weekly caches, but if all you're interested in is the new B mount, you'll have 2 weeks spare, so to speak, as you only need to get the special buff for 5 weeks during the event, so you do have a little bit of leeway there.
Right.
But perhaps the most important part of this schedule is when it ends. The Turbulent Timeways event will run until February 25th, and with the bumped up rewards available...
right? Interesting. It ends on February 25th, and that's a Tuesday. That's a reset day. I wonder what else could be dropping on February 25th. Yeah, we might be undermining the importance of that date, I should say. Yeah.
During the event, I doubt the new patch or season will start up until
I think it's going to drop that day,
ends.
February 25th.
So the earliest patch 11.1 could release at this point is on February 25th. We also have the Plunderstorm event thrown in there as well. That starts up on January 14th and runs until February 18th, and that event would have to end before the patch arrives too.
And
then to add into all of this scheduling, the dev team released a testing schedule for dungeons and the new raid on the PTR. That testing has already started. The PTR is up and available for patch 11.1, and the dungeon testing is going to last for 6 weeks, so that should end around February 18th. And then the raid testing is actually all being crammed into January, maybe to give them...
Wow, that's crazy. The dungeon testing ends the week before that. Plunderstorm ends the week before that. Turbulent Timeways ends that date. It's crazy how everything's lining up perfectly for that date to be the launch of 11.1.
Time to change stuff in the raid if they need to, or we may see that raid schedule spread out a bit further because it does look incredibly busy right now. Either way, the testing schedules also point towards a potential release date for patch 11.1 being around the end of February, so we should see the next major content patch for World of Warcraft in about 7 to 8 weeks' time. That is still a good chunk of time without a lot of brand new content to sink our teeth into, but I guess that's why we have 2 special events to try and bridge the gap. You can spend some time in the Timeways or plundering your way to various new rewards.
Yeah, I miss Plunderstorm.
Or
I'm
maybe
excited to do
just
this again.
check out something else before patch 11.1 finally goes live. But that's how you can get your hands on some very easy high item level gear to help prepare for Season 2 of The War Within, and how to get every other reward from the Turbulent Timeways event. So that's it for this video. How do you feel about the Turbulent Timeways event returning, and what are you going to be focusing on as we head into patch 11.1 and Season 2 of The War Within? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can find links in the description or click the join button just below the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful in any way, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're always kept up to date. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.
Thanks, Kalani. Yeah, great video from Kalani. Interesting stuff. I think, the Turbulent Timeways is going to be decent filler content. Really what it's good for is leveling up your alts. If you've got alts out there, you get the experience increase, plus you get all the gear. So it's like a really good catch-up mechanic for alts and preparation for 11.1.